What is going on, everybody? Brad here with my friend Brian.
Hey.
Back at it again. Taking a 2-day trip, backpacking trip down into Anza, Borrego. We're actually technically in Anza, Borrego right now, but we're at about 5,000 feet. And we're gonna take a little shortcut and drop down to the desert floor and explore the Salt Creek and Cottonwood Canyon, I believe. It's Cottonwood Canyon or Cottonwood Creek area. And check out some of the old cowboy artifacts. There's some native artifacts down there as well. And hoping there's water in Salt Creek because I brought 4 liters. Got my filter. So there's quite a bit of water flowing. We just crossed the PCT, quite a bit flowing across the road. So I'd be shocked if there wasn't. So taking this Jeep road to the saddle, and then it's a pretty severe drop down into the desert floor. I believe it's over 1,000 feet per mile drop. All right. This is why we walked, didn't drive down here. Yeah, I'd say this one's ready for the scrapyard. This being one of what I believe the shortest route down to the desert floor. Also heavily trafficked with animals, lots of mountain lion footprints, deer, bobcat, and ticks. There's a section as we get near Salt Creek that I picked off. Oh, actually I stopped counting at 25 ticks. Within felt like a half hour to an hour section. So we both sprayed our clothes liberally with permethrin. You can start to see a little bit of the valley that we will be exploring once we get down there. Alright, I can see a little bit of glimmering down there, so we are in luck with water. Salt Creek is flowing. Forgot to mention earlier, it is March 18th, the day after St. Patrick's Day. So just working our way down this old, I'm just gonna call it an old rancher's road, their shortcut to the desert floor. It has not been driven on or maintained in, I would say, 50 plus years. It's just rutted and overgrown. But like I said, I don't think there is a more direct route other than just picking a spine in the Laguna somewhere and dropping down that way. But this isn't too bad. There are sections that are clear, walk around a little choking a brush, but it's not too bad at all. Picked up my first tick. This is not an used path. Not too much further. It's one thing that really fascinates me, and what I really love about the Anza Borrego Desert and the area surrounding it is there's sections of it that are just so desolate and almost void of all life. And then polar opposite back there at Salt Creek. If I just picked you up and planted you next to that water and didn't tell you where you were, especially right now, which is, this probably has more flow than it will have for a long time, you wouldn't believe that you're in the desert. Just how lush it is, how much water. It's just really incredible. This Salt Creek on normal years, depending on how much rain and snow there is, generally reliable from about January to March. And then you could extend that a couple months depending on how much rain and snow. So this may make it into May with how much water I've seen. There's 2 or 3 tributaries that are dumping into Salt Creek, and they're flowing pretty well. Everything is just so green. There's Whale Peak in the background. So we're gonna follow this old rancher's road east and check out a few of the old artifacts along the way. And then we will head south and come back up on the inside of that mountain range, that's the Sawtooth Mountains. And we'll probably end up somewhere not too far from here for camp, so we can head on out in the morning. We'll be next to water. This is an old slab. Concrete. It's what I'd call a slightly rough finish. Let's go see what else we got back here. This was an old, I don't know if it was a homestead or a cattle ranch. There's a water trough. This is a cool rock shelter built into the bank here. It's exhaust vent for a stove or fireplace or an oven. And probably a place to keep your food cool. Pretty well built. We're now headed to the base of the Sawtooth Mountains, south of this valley. I just cannot believe how far Salt Creek is running into the desert. Got a few years left on them. What do you think? Get this cat tire out here. sizzle. Got the wooden spoke wheels, like the water tank. On the other side. We are just working our way up Cottonwood Canyon. See how far we can get. It's getting pretty thick. So hopefully we can get close to the water and take a little break. Decide what to do. I don't know if we can get down there. I believe Jerry Shed has a route that starts up by the PCT and actually comes all the way to the campground. I'm not sure if this is the way. I'm sure not a lot of people go this way regardless. Whew. Yep, a couple markers. Creek and are now headed north. I'm trying to find a path through all this brush so we can get to the, what would that be? Northwest area of this valley. Look for a place to set up camp. That's not too far from Salt Creek in case we need more water. But yeah, just navigating through all this brush. It was really nice at that creek in Cottonwood Canyon. Tremendous amount of water flowing through there. Refilled a couple bottles, soaked our feet. Yeah, that was really good. I'm just stumbling, just walking off trail and discovered this rock house. This is really cool. I don't know if this was native or built by the ranchers at some point. It doesn't look as old as the ones that are in Rock House Canyon. Very cool. We just finished setting up camp. Brian is back there relaxing. I decided to come back up this little hill. See our tents down there. And there is the route that we need to go up tomorrow. You can see the road will zigzag up to that saddle. overgrown to rock house, over to the water tank, and then up that side of the valley, all the way up in there, which is Cottonwood Canyon. We took a break and then hiked back to where, right down there. Good morning. Day 2, a little adventure near Salt Creek. Had a great night last night. No wind, which is always a plus when you're in the desert. Got to about 50. So we decided to wake up early and start climbing back up this incredibly steep, well, I wouldn't call it a road. It used to be a road. Now it's just overgrown and a rutted path all the way back up to Sunrise Highway. So we camped at about 3,000 feet and we have to get to 5,100 or so back to the cars. Just picking ticks off and making our way through the brush. So what we have left is just to follow this fire road all the way up around. I think it's about 1.5 miles, not too bad. Another old wrecked car. Not sure what that is. It'll buff out. All right, just a few more miles on this cheap road back to the car. End up being about 15 or 16 miles for the trip and probably 2,800 feet of gain and loss. Yeah, it was really nice seeing all the seasonal creeks just raging. Cottonwood Canyon, Salt Creek, and a few tributaries dumping in there. But yeah, it was a great time. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.